Hello, everybody. Welcome to the All Day Football Show. I'm your host, Jackson Kellogg, and today we're getting into game picks for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Getting right into it, last week during Wild Card Weekend, I got almost every pick right except I picked the Seahawks to beat the Rams, and that did not happen. The Seahawks got absolutely trashed by an injured Jared Goff, so that's why Rams get upset win of the week. Total season record is at 168, 93, and 1. Not surprised, goes to the Browns. The Steelers were talking a whole lot of crap for the last few weeks. After their 11-0 start, they got really cocky, and the fact that they lost by allowing a 28-0 deficit at the start of the first quarter, or at the end of the first quarter. It's just hilarious. That first play of the game for Browns Steelers really sold what this season was for them. So, Browns take the win. And teams on bye is none because with the playoffs now past the wildcard round, there will be no more byes for the rest of the season. So, first game today at 4:35 is the LA Rams at the Green Bay Packers. Jared Goff is questionable to play, and if he is not able to play, that means Blake Bortles will be starting for the Rams. And for the Packers have been dealing with a little bit of injuries. The offensive lineman they signed, Jared Valdir, that's not happening anymore because he got COVID. So Packers were about to break history, but that won't happen anymore. The Packers are easily the better team in this situation. What I think it's going to come down to is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to throw to his other receivers consistently enough, and are they going to get the run game going? Because this Rams defense is no joke. Jalen Ramsey and Devontae Adams are going to be in for a matchup of the playoffs in terms of one-on-one or player versus player. And then Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, and the rest of those front seven, they're going to be trying to shut down Aaron Jones in that rushing attack of the Packers. So I think it is going to be a tough battle for the Packers offensively. But defensively, this game should be easy as pie. Because if Goff isn't playing, even if he is, he's playing injured. His throwing mechanics are going to be off, meaning Goff isn't going to be at his best self. So the Packers defense should be able to take advantage of that. And for that reason, I give the Packers the win, as there's no excuse for the Packers to lose this game with what the Rams are dealing with. They were able to pull through against the Seahawks, but the Seahawks have been inconsistent in the second half of the season. Whereas the Packers, they've been pretty consistent for the whole year. They've had their little downs, but other than that, they've been really well this year. They've done really well this year, earning that number 1 seed. So, if they lose this game, that would just play on to the fact that the Packers can't win in the playoffs. The 8 o'clock game for Saturday, Ravens at the Bills. The Bills coming off of a close win over the Colts. The Ravens coming off of a dominant win against the Titans. Now, the Ravens defense played very well against the Titans, in which they shut down Derrick Henry, forcing the Titans to throw the ball, and Ryan Tannehill showed that without the running game, they can't really throw the ball. So now you have the Bills, who have their own crazy passing attack and a pretty decent rushing attack at that with Devin Singletary. And they just brought in Devontae Freeman to take over Zach Moss's role. So I think this game is going to come down to which defense can get the most stops, because both of these teams are capable of scoring over 40 points in this game. So it's going to come down to which defense is going to be able to get the most stops, who's going to get the most stops on third down, who's going to be able to get the most red zone stops, force more field goals. And I really think that's going to be the Bills' defense. I give the Bills the win here. I think the Bills' offense is better than the Ravens' offense, so the Bills' defense won't have to do as much to shut down the Ravens. Tre'Davious White, just throw him on Marquise Brown. Make sure you've got your safeties looking over at Mark Andrews, and then force a lot of your front seven to play the running game. Play contain, keep Lamar Jackson inside the pocket, force inside runs, and then just stuff them inside with Ed Oliver. So that would be my game plan for the Bills, and if they do that, it should be a good. This game is going to be a good game no matter what happens, but I do think the Bills pull through with the win. Sunday games now. The Chiefs are at home against the Browns. Chiefs locked up the number 1 seed with a 14-2 record. The Browns, like I said earlier, absolutely destroyed the Steelers. The score in the stats doesn't show exactly what happened that game. Yes, Roethlisberger threw for 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, but he also threw for 4 interceptions, and that all came in about 3 quarters where the Browns just let off the gas because they had that much of a lead. The Browns won't have the glory of that in this game, though, as the Chiefs' offense is capable of scoring on you in less than a minute. And the issue with that is that the Browns' secondary is not very good. Denzel Ward is a good corner. He's easily a top-tier corner in this league. But the rest of that secondary isn't great. They've had to deal with a lot of injuries there, and they're hoping Denzel Ward will be back for this game, as he was out last week against the Steelers. But if the Browns can't find ways to shut down Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, this game could get ugly very quickly. The Browns are going to try and control the clock with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb in the running game. They're going to run their Baker Mayfield bootlegs. The Browns are going to try and play their game until the Chiefs force them out of it, and I think that's going to be the issue. Is with the Chiefs are going to win, and they're going to do that by scoring quickly on this Browns defense. That their front end is good, but looking at the back between their linebackers and their secondary, it's not the greatest. So with Mahomes just chucking the ball over to them and scoring quickly, they're going to force the Browns out of their running game very quickly, and that's going to be an issue for the Browns, and that might be their downfall in this game. Last game, 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock on Sunday, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at the New Orleans Saints for their 3rd matchup of the year in division. And the Saints won the first 2 matchups, as the Buccaneers never were really able to get anything going on offense in their 2 meetings against the Saints. Whereas the Saints the last few weeks haven't done very great on the offensive side of the ball themselves. Drew Brees has had issues throwing the ball deep, and that's forced the Saints to have a really good running game, which if a team can stop the run against the Saints, then the Saints are going to run into some issues. Though I don't think the Buccaneers are going to have that capability. This game is going to come down to which offense makes the fewest mistakes. Both these defenses are great defense when they show up to perform. So it's going to come down to which of these older quarterbacks is going to be able to make the most plays, where a lot of the times Brady and Brees are relying on their playmakers to make the plays for them, whether it's Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or AB getting open for the deep ball. You know, that streak for Brady where he only throws 1 or 2 accurate deep passes a game. Or it's Brees who's trying to get his playmakers in space so they can fake out defenders, whether it's Kamara, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. I think this game goes to the Saints because the Saints are their team has better chemistry, especially under Sean Payton. Sean Payton makes his guys work together. And the Buccaneers' issue is they're very talented, but they didn't get any chemistry this year. The wide receiving group was a revolving door of injuries and bringing in new guys. And the offense never really got a chance to gel with no offseason. And it's shown this year where unless the Buccaneers are playing a top defense, or when the Buccaneers are playing a top defense, they get stuffed very quickly. And if they can't get anything going quickly on offense, then this game might get ugly quick. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know who your picks are, and we can compare. And hope you all have a great divisional round weekend. And let's hope that the Patriots can make it back to the playoffs next year.